All right, 1 second, bro. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of the Wealth Experience, brought to you in part by the Internet Finance Show, which is streaming live right now on my YouTube channel and on my actual podcast on Anchor FM. Tonight, again, I have my brother in finance here, brother in wealth, Mr. Ricardo Hamilton in the building. I want to shout out to everybody that's tuning in right now. Shout out to Randy. Shout out to Christopher. Thanks, everybody. Share, like, because we're going to put some information out there for you guys that is definitely going to not only help you. Let's just call this tonight, the problem and the solution. So we're going to talk about some problem advisors. But what we are a product of their environment, and we get started. Ricardo, anybody you want to shout out?
Meets them in a good space and an open mind.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that I want to talk about in gold, and I know you didn't have too much time to really speak on it, but if you could just enlighten the audience, the ones that didn't see your Facebook live, the other night, the world monetary system, and especially here in the United States with the fiat currency.
Has a different point of view and a different reality. And, when I was with my friend, we were just discussing, obviously, the people in the country. And, obviously everybody has different opposing views because whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green Party, you believe, and what, those parties and their is that I was telling my friend, the system is set up for failure, no matter how you look at it, because we have to borrow our money on that money that's being created. Well, we have to borrow again, and so what happens is there's this evolving cycle of debt, and taxes and certain measures being taken in place by this government against its citizens that are not necessarily for. And without letting everybody know that it's a setup. And so my friend is of a he's I like to say he has a normalcy bias. Things will just get better, or things will be fine, or that it'll always happen this way. The economy and perpetuity. And the fact is that that's incorrect. That's not the right view, the right understanding of the system that we're in. Because when you analyze what they have done to even keep us going this long, you will realize that a lot of the wars that this country has gotten into, a lot of the turmoil that, when you analyze that, you'll see that a lot of wars that we've been into were really wars that we didn't have to get into. Conversation, but at the end of the day, I was just trying to tell them, look, you have to hedge, prepare. And even if you don't think it's going to get worse, if you can save your money for a rainy day, or you can save your money for a sunny day. And so the beautiful thing about gold is risk, least third-party counter risk, and least exposure. To system
about there when you were talking about, how the economy and how our government has literally, ladies and gentlemen, and I really, if you're listening out. 40-year-old man. I've been in the military for 20 years. And earlier today, I know you're familiar with Mr. Mike Maloney. He's an advocate of gold and silver, of the many inside of the 7 stages of empire that we are starting to see right now. Back in the road tax system, okay? But they fell into building their army in wars. And if we fast forward to our time, since 2000, we have spent enormous amounts of currency on wars. Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. Afghanistan. The third one was little pockets in Syria only good for the economy if you're not in it, if you're selling the products, the services, or the goods to the nations that are fighting or leverage their military. And we see that every year. I see, even in the military, and a lot of my friends are here on this live know that this is true. We have a fiscal year. October starts, August before October, that new fiscal year start. We have a crunch where we have all this money that we have to just basically get rid of because come 1 October of that year, that money goes away and we start a new fiscal year. So there were times where things were bought that we really didn't need. You know, we were trying to buy supplies and things to try to burn that up. That is money that we're starting to see these same people that, the economy, our government was supposed to protect and help. They don't know. We just came from the holidays and you're 4 paychecks behind whenever, the government decides that, okay, their finances because of a problem coming from our government over leveraging, overspending, and basically bamboozling the people and just printing a currency that is not backed by anything, and it's continually to down is lifted. A lot of them will go right back into those same habits of not saving. And when I say saving, I'm not talking about saving fiat currency, part of the system. Okay, you have the Federal Reserve, the banks, and then you have the Treasury. They're all in cahoots together. Nowhere in that is meant to fail that is failing right now. So that right there is the most hurting thing for me, to see that people are really suffering now because of, poor planning on the 5 years that can't even afford. We're not even a month into the actual shutdown. The 20 right now and since the 23rd of December. You see what I'm saying? So these things are, history repeats itself, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't something that has been made up. If you go back, I'm not talking 10, 20, 30, 50, I'm talking thousands of years. If you look at all the power of their currency, okay, the government is over leveraging their military. They're spending on ridiculous amounts of public projects. Think about what's going on now. What is the whole shutdown behind? A stupid wall. A stupid wall. Okay? And this is something that's happened over time. It have failed. There is a 100% failure rate on fiat currency. These aren't made up. These are facts. But the one thing that all of them have always come back to look for support and hedge was precious metals, and that's your gold and your silver. Okay? So, okay, you will be on the outside looking in. Now, all hope isn't lost, and Ricardo is going to touch on this. All hope isn't lost, ladies and gentlemen. But the first step that you have to do is you have to educate yourself and say to yourself and your family that, hey, we are no longer going to be Karatbars International comes in there because we give the power back to the people by giving you an asset that has been around for over 5 zillion asset that's out there known to man today, which is gold. We give it to you. You can have access to it, okay, in small increments. We're not telling you to quit your job. We're not telling you to save for those rainy days. Because I promise you, those 8,000 federal workers, and it's not just the federal workers, because it all trickles down, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just federal workers that are being punished by this government shutdown. If the federal workers don't work, they can't spend their revenue. Their everyone. So we're telling you that you need to be aware, and you need to have a plan A, a plan B, and the way things are, and that can grow with them over a long period of time. Okay, so Ricardo, maybe I went left field on everybody. Can you just like touch on that a little bit? Am I too far left? Should I reel it back in? But right now, because it's not going to happen to me, or it's not affecting me. Please believe this wealth transfer that we're going to talk about later on.
Very, very eloquently, and to where everybody can get an economy, and it really got me thinking of different economies out here. These terms, and they kind of paint a broad that it's not getting better in the last decade or so. The American people were suffering because they didn't have money to pay for their house. Jobs that came back after that, I'm sure they weren't paying, double what people were getting paid. The average person's economy has gotten better. It's that those CEOs on Wall Street companies, their economies in the auto industry, which reflect inflation. And And so it's the same thing when we say war is good for the economy. The money from when they have to go to war. War costs money. You need ammunition from going to war because then you have to rebuild that nation. Then you can recoup something. But even in that case, war is good for.
And I don't even mean to cut you off right there, but let me show you how the government used that sleight of hand again, because I was in Iraq, Mosul, Iraq, when Halliburton, aka KBR, came to the Middle East. And guess who was the CEO of Halliburton at the time? Our vice president of the company that is doing the soldiers' laundry, that is doing all of the manual labor that soldiers don't have to do so we can fight a war. That is the sleight of hand. And the way that they tried to throw the wool over your eyes is that, hey, guess what? We'll hire you to go over there and give you 6 figures to work for us. And people weren't understanding that was the power move that the government did.
Reveal this curtain. It's very real things that we're talking about, because we're talking about people's lives who have been adversely affected all over the globe. I mean, people died in America during 9/11, but over 1 million people have died in Iraq since then.
Right.
The whole thing about it is that it can go somewhere else if you don't keep it on track. But the thing is that there's a lot of things that we're not aware of, and you mentioned it earlier. It's the open, that backdoor policy with corporations and the federal government. I mean, sure, you vote. Average person would not, go to somebody who created the problem to now fix the solution. You cannot fix any problem with the same. I created the financial crisis in 2008. We're in the White House, and they were the ones who were supposed to fix it, and their solution to fix it was to bail themselves out. And right now, we will overthrow this government, and we will institute new government tomorrow. But the other thing about the reason why I see it doesn't happen like that is because there's a lot of different people in this country. A lot of people who are coming from worse countries who don't mind being subject to these type of conditions. You see, but this was what America was founded on. Problem all day. The thing is that we have to have a solution. You know what I mean? And so Karatbars International is truly the solution, because if you're trying to escape inflation, if you're trying to figure out a way to preserve the purchasing power of your money, if you're trying to figure out a way to take advantage of the tax benefits that businesses and corporations have, then that's why you need Karatbars International. If you want to be able to get more of the benefits of joining this company, you're saving an asset, which is 24 karat pure gold, that is money in the world. You have the security and peace of mind that you're saving in an asset that will always be there no matter which way the economy goes. As gold appreciates, your wealth appreciates. All you need is a phone, and you share this information with somebody that we have with wealth builders worldwide, and they will go to the realmoney.info, and they'll be able to see this information for themselves, and then they can make a very brilliant decision for themselves and their family financially to start saving their money in gold, making additional income for their family by sharing this financially liberating information with their family. It's free. And for the second reason, it's gold. So when you understand that, it's a no-brainer. We sign up for stuff all the time, and so it's just a thing. Forex, this new network company, or in this and that, and all these other instruments to make money, which is fine. You can make money, and you can make enough money to escape inflation. That's true. But the thing is that as you're making that money, you need to have a way to preserve the purchasing power. Preserve the purchasing power.
I want to get kind of deep into the whole Karatbars International, and for those of you that are out there and that are in technology, so much stuff I see on social media that has no relevance onto really what's going on. It's so much of a distraction. Solutions. Now, I don't want to be too biased towards Karatbars International. We've already spoken about how the government has already used that sleight of hand to take away your value. It could be wealthy in your mind, your knowledge, like we're doing. We're spreading wealth right now. This isn't costing anybody International is so far ahead of everything else that is out there. And I'm not trying to down any network marketing companies or anything out there. They're all great. We all started from somebody that's on my Facebook Live right now. A lot of you know me from, you know, the I Trade Crypto Academy days, the Team Life, Lifestyles, Entertainment, and Fun. You guys remember how I was, you know, really, you know, pushing for people to understand blockchain technology, understanding cryptocurrency. And, you know, 3.5, 4 years ago, we now start to see a lot of our mainstream so-called celebrities and icons that people, you know, put on a pedestal, like your Floyd Mayweathers, The Game, you know, John Cena, all these people that are now centralized, meaning no third-party intervention. Karatbars International has now merged the old school, your baby boomers like my mom, my grandparents, and it has merged the new millennials, the new ones that know about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, the most brand new person, or for the more seasoned elderly person. We have something for everybody. And we are the first groundbreaking company to have there's no other cryptocurrency on the market out there that is backed by an actual asset that will be here long, or a group of people, whoever they are. We would not know about the blockchain technology. But Bitcoin is still pegged to a fiat currency. Whether you're in the United States, you can cash out to US dollars, or the Canadian dollar, or the British pound. You're still is backed by, no matter what happens in the cryptocurrency market. I know that I now have an asset that no matter what, I know that that is not going to depreciate. It's going to be there for the long term. So this is what people, and I said, you know what, man? You don't have to understand the cryptocurrency stuff. See, innovation isn't meant for you to understand everything all before, way before this actual crisis that we have. They are fixing something that we all need. They're giving the power back to the people by letting you be able to purchase gold in small increments to secure what you already have. You're working those is about. We are a savings platform, ecosystem, wealth building system first. Everything else is irrelevant, really. We are a saving first. And me personally, I don't know about you, Brother Ricardo, but I'm not in the convincing business. You know, Brother Inky Johnson, you know, I posted that video. He said, if I got to convince you about an opportunity, this is not for you. Because if you don't see what's going on outside of your four walls of your home and see what's going on in the economy, and you don't see what you have in front of you, because again, I keep going back to this. The wealth transfer will happen with or without you. And that's where we are today. Do you want to elaborate on that, Brother Ricardo?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's powerful information that we're sharing with the people, and we just actually provide a solution to these problems that we know exist. You know, I was talking to, you know, same way we talk to people. I think some people just need to understand. They want to understand the system, but like you said, brother, sometimes you just gotta you gotta step out on faith, and you'll figure it out as you go along. But you know, the thing is that you don't want to not, you know, put yourself in position. You know, start out. And what moves the world, you know, even though we know there's a lot of problems, it's us, it's humanity, it's, you know, it's individuals, it's technology, it's innovation. You know, it's so we'll come out of any crisis, you know, because of that's there's nothing new under the sun, and so life will continue. Just letting people know that, you know, this money, which is gold, and it's moving towards. This company has perfectly positioned itself when you join Karatbars. It's not like if you start a monetary system, you and your family in a financial position, something with your money.
Yes.
The only way you're going to power because of inflation. Because on the market, they're being exposed to that. To talk to people, it's money all around the world. 10 years now, you're exposing yourself. We've been checked out. Information is not valid, and you're no better off if you never the dollar and the dollar.
Our brothers, a question.
The highest market actually?
And those are good questions. And we again, society, social media, the media portrays about something they automatically. It's free. Become a free member. Get some for yourself. Go check it out. Go coming. I'm a product of the product. So I'm not sitting here. And like I said, we are just, there you go. Brother Ricardo is showing you one of our classic gold cards with gold. 999.99% pure 24 karat gold. LMB London bullion certified. This is the real deal. But see, most of us can't picture that in our heads because the first thing we think of, oh, it's got to be a catch. Or, you know, I got to spend X amount of dollars to. No, we are telling you. You can purchase as little as 1/10 of a gram. That's less than $5. Look at that. Cash gold. Less than $5, ladies and gentlemen. How many of us spend $5 a day, okay, on stuff that is not going to help us? That's not securing your wealth. How many of us out there? I'm not going to name no names. You don't have to, you know, chime in on the comments, but just think about that. We are in the business of saving your wealth. Saving your wealth. We are always so caught up and taught to spend. We were never meant or never taught to save or saving something that is going to bring or hold value to us. It's free to join. Exactly. So I want to talk about something real quick that, you know, I was listening to Brother Inky Johnson and he said something. And I want you to talk about this, you know, from your perspective. There it is. There it is, bro. Our own Visa card. So if you still are caught up in the whole rapture of the fiat currency, you can't foresee yourself with gold, you still want to spend, use your money, no problem. We get paid every week on our own debit card. So if you need to go to Royal Farm or to 7-Eleven or to Walmart, you can pull out your cash at any MasterCard, wherever MasterCard is accepted, which is everywhere in the world that I know of. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a game. This isn't your ordinary, what you think about Karatbars International. It isn't. This isn't your ordinary, again, no knock to any other company. This isn't your average MLM company. We're not an MLM. We are not an MLM. We are a wealth building system. That's what we are. WBS, wealth building system. So, but I wanted to touch on something. Right here. I was listening to Brother Inky Johnson the other day, and he said something that was very powerful to me. And I really want to punch this home to the audience out there because I think this, to me, this is one thing that stops a lot of people from being successful at whatever they're doing, whether it's business, whether it's their relationship with their spouses, their kids, whatever it may be. But it's called sacrifice. Sacrifice is only a prerequisite for growth. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, some of us have to sacrifice some of the things we do on a day-to-day basis in our lives if we want to grow. So many people, you know, started, you know, beginning of the year with their New Year's resolution. Well, what is it good as a New Year's resolution if you're not willing to sacrifice to meet that actual resolution or that goal, which is to grow? So many of us are so scared to sacrifice $5 a day because of whatever the reason is. $5 a day, ladies and gentlemen, something that is going to not only retain your wealth, but you can pass on. You can't, no offense, you can't pass on a credit score. You can't pass that down to your kids. Some of y'all credit score, I wouldn't want to pass it down to my kids anyway. I'm just going to be 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing against my credit repair people out there. That's okay. But what I'm saying, let's think logically here. Can you pass that down to your kids? And honestly, credit is only an extension of the centralized banking system to put you in more debt. Because you're going to use that credit. If you're not using that credit to go out there and purchase some assets that's going to bring you back a return on investment, meaning real estate or something like that, then what are you using it for? Because a car, I know we need transportation, but that depreciates as soon as you pull it off the lot. Those new Jordans that you sitting at the store, trampling over people, causing a ruckus for. Let's think about this for a second. Let's think about that. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Like my sister Sherry Brown said. Come on, somebody. Like my sister Sherry Brown said. Come on, somebody. See, the problem with a lot of these streams is a lot of people going to hop off here because they feel as though we're preaching to them. But you know what? At the end of the day, these are the same things that you're going to be having to tell you. You know what hurts me? When you got to be able to tell your family or your child or your kids that, hey, we can't afford this. We are giving you an opportunity to have wealth where you can afford in abundance whatever you want. Because no matter who's in office, Republican, Democrat, space alien, Martian, doesn't matter. You have something that you can pass down to generation. That's what we are. That's what you have in your hands. Sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice to get to your goals? So many of us are so afraid to sacrifice to grow. So many of us do that. I was a victim of it. I was scared to sacrifice a lot of things. And I did sacrifice a lot when I joined the military because I was always overseas. Didn't get a chance to see my kids grow up. I missed so many school events, and my son is going off to college here in August, my oldest. But you know what? I grew because I learned. I saw the world. I met some great people. And it kind of, now that I'm about to retire, it correlates into the Karatbars International family, my union, my cash flow syndicate, my Wealth Builders Worldwide family. I have a new family now that I can grow and learn with. And we all have one goal in mind. And that is to reach back and help the next man and the next woman to be able to retain their wealth building system. So I ask you and I challenge you on this. What are you willing to sacrifice to grow? What are you willing to sacrifice and grow? And the answer is very simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's very simple. The opportunity is sitting right here in front of you. But it's up to you to do it. So Brother Ricardo, can you go ahead and speak on that, bro? Sacrifice to growth, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that you had mentioned that kind of came across my mind in regards to what this is all about. It really comes down to our CEO of our company, of Karatbars International.
Come on, somebody.
And his mission. His mission. And I'm gonna paraphrase it. I wanted to pull it up so I can have it actually word for word. But his mission was to free people from this system of debt by bringing to them the highest grade quality gold at the most affordable price point. Because he understood that gold is money. The CEO of Karatbars International, Harold Sykes, is a billionaire. He's on the Economic Council in Germany, and he's a very passionate and humanitarian person. And so his mission was to help people get out of this system of debt by acquiring an asset that will appreciate for them and preserve their wealth and purchasing power, while fiat currencies all across the world will collapse because of their lack of asset backing and massive money printing and government's inability to get their budget and financial house in order. And so, that's the foundation of our company. And so when you understand that, when you're looking at, what it is that you're getting into and, what is the company about, look at the CEO. Look at the company. Look who's checked out the company. Look who's in the company. Look at the product. And look at, where the company is going and what they're doing. And when you do that due diligence, you're going to realize that Karatbars International is the best company, on the planet to really be a part of right now, especially because our product is an asset that builds your wealth. You don't lose. It's not like I joined something, I signed up with something, I got a part of something, somebody got me into this, and I've been buying this thing for all these months and years, and I ain't benefit from it. I ordered this weight loss product. I tried it, but they had me on auto ship, and I ain't use it. Now I got all this product sitting in my house. Or this, no. You're saving in gold. You amassing this product is going to do nothing but build wealth for you and increase your net worth and appreciate for you and give you financial security. That's it. It's not rocket science. It's not really the hardest thing. I mean, we done tried everything under the sun. We done been a part of everything. We done seen things come and go. And so, yeah, some of us are like, man, I done did this. I done seen that. You gotta really look at this with a fresh open mind and really realize how this company is unique from any other company that you're thinking about or that you've ever dealt with. You might try to compare it because it is a network marketing or direct affiliate marketing sort of a system, the way it's structured, but it's unique in every way. Outside of that, hey, we get compensated for helping people save their money and gold.
Yes, sir.
And, so yeah.
Yeah, and Ms. Rosaline just said something perfect. She said, "Our product is money. That's our product. Our product is money. Not only that, our gold is a tax write-off if you do it the right way." You know, we have individuals in Karatbars International that have their own business outside of that, and they have created a account with their LLC, and they're doubling up. They're doubling up. Again, ladies and gentlemen, what are you willing to sacrifice to grow? What are you willing to sacrifice to grow? What? We could name so much out there that people could just, and I don't want to be here as I'm a preacher or anything like that, but I look down my timeline, I'm out in the community, and I hear so many people that want change, but they're not willing to sacrifice. Not willing to sacrifice. They're not willing to sacrifice to grow. Because everyone that is successful, I don't care who you look at, who you might idolize, no matter who they are, they had to sacrifice something to get to where they are. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have the vehicle. We have the vehicle for you to grow. All you have to do is get in, turn the ignition, put it in drive, and drive down the financial road to freedom. That is what it's about. Because I guarantee you, the 1%, that's your wealthy, they're making sure that their legacy lives on through their kids and their grandkids, because they're securing their currency in an asset that's going to retain its wealth over long periods of time. And I made this post today about the microwave mentality compared to the crock pot mentality. If you want something right now, you want it right now, you're going to put it in the microwave and warm it up and eat it. So many of us right now are worrying about July the 4th, 2019. And I'm going to say this, and I really don't care who doesn't like it. I see a lot of this in my Karatbars International family. And I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. But so many of us have this microwave mentality right now that when July the 4th comes, whatever the price of gold is, because Mr. Harold Sykes has made that guarantee that on July the 4th, 2019, 100 KBC coins will equal 1 gram of gold. What a gram of gold will be priced at that time, we don't know. But we do have a guarantee. But so many of us right now are looking at the first, like Mr. Ronnie Roach told me. He said, that's just the first stop on this bus trip, brother. We got a 5-year roadmap. A 5-year roadmap. July the 4th is just the first bus stop. And so many of us are like, oh, I need to get so many coins because I'm going to cash out. Like Mr. Delco said, don't cash out, cash in. Because if you have that microwave mentality, you're going to be right back to where you were before you was willing to sacrifice to even get to July the 4th. But the crock pot, which you put in there, you slow cook it. It's got that seasoning. It tastes so much better because it takes over time to get that meat nice and tender. It's not like a microwave. You put it in, get it, go. You got to have that mentality. So many of us are not willing to sacrifice time to get to where we want to get. We want to get there right now. But you know what? The ones that are taking heed to what I'm saying right now and what you were saying, brother Ricardo, those are the ones in 5 years from now are going to be looking back. And they're going to be like, when I heard Brother Ramon and Brother Ricardo talking about sacrifice, it made it all worth it. Because now my kids and my grandkids, they have options. They have options, or I have options now. That's the difference. The sacrifice, the mentality. That's what it's all about. You have the vehicle. You just have to put your mind to it and go with it. And here's the thing, you're not by yourself. We have a community of over 600,000 strong worldwide. Worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. Worldwide. And we haven't even got started yet. And Karatbars has been around since 2011. You haven't seen nothing yet. We about, like Muhammad, we about to shake up the world with what we have. We are going to be the biggest disruptor to the financial industry that you have never seen before. When you merge innovation of blockchain technology with the oldest form of money known to man, and you combine that and you give it to people where they can afford it in small increments, game over. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. So let's get to some questions out here, Brother Ricardo. If you got some more time, I don't want to hold you long. But ladies and gentlemen out there, if you got some questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. We're going to try to get them answered. If you have anything that you want to ask myself or Brother Ricardo about it, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and we're going to try to get them answered. Anybody got anything? Brother Ricardo, you got anything you wanna touch on or highlight, my brother?
No, I got my little closing statement, and we can end it there. We've been
yes, sir.
I don't want to hold the people on for too long.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, I want to get that mission statement correctly. So the CEO and founder of Karatbars International, Harold Sykes, the founder and visionary, and I quote, "My mission is to produce the highest quality gold available in the market, make it easily accessible to the masses of honest people around the world at a price point everyone can afford. My goal is to help millions find financial freedom from the current system of debt with Karatbars." End quote. Harold Sykes is a senator with the Global Economic Network in Germany, and also he's a member of the Economic Council in Germany. That's our CEO.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's our mission.
Awesome, awesome. So Brother Dion asks, what do we suggest, gold or the coins? I say both. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but both will be just as powerful. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everyone for joining us tonight. Stay tuned. We're going to try, like I said, we're going to try to do this at least once a week, twice a week, depending on Brother Ricardo's schedule and my schedule. We want to be able to educate you guys on not only just the company, but let you understand why Karatbars International is so powerful, and we are in the right space in the right time right now for what's going on in a global aspect. So Brother Ricardo, I salute you, my brother. I appreciate you getting on here tonight. I appreciate everyone out there on Facebook, everybody on my live stream on YouTube, everybody on my Anchor FM podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you share this information with those people that you love, care about, friends, co-workers, whoever. Share this with them. Let them understand that they do have options. They don't have to settle for what's going on in their own economy, in their household economy. And if you were introduced by any affiliates from this, get back with that person. Get back with that person. If not, go ahead and look below this video. There's a link, therealmoney.info. Click on that, look over it, make an educated decision. Get back to myself, the person that introduced you, Brother Ricardo, and we'll see you guys on the next stream. Again, I appreciate you, Brother Ricardo. Thank you. Wealth Builders Worldwide. Shout out to the Wealth Builders Worldwide, the Union, Team Cashflow Syndicate, everybody, all the Karatbars affiliates across the world. Everybody, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all, and we'll see y'all on the next stream. Ow, ow, ow.